Vice President Kamala Harris is in Germany to take part in the Munich Security Conference. Her trip comes at a critical time. The vice president will address the Russia-Ukraine tensions with a speech in front of the world's top national security officials Saturday as the U.S. tries to unite allies in support of Ukraine. Harris will also have her first meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during the trip. CBS News reporter Tim Perry covers the vice president and joins me now. So, Tim, give us the latest rundown of who the vice president meets with and when.
That's right. So the vice president tomorrow starts a jam-packed weekend of meetings with several dozen world leaders and American allies while she's on the ground in Munich. Tomorrow she will meet with the NATO Secretary General Stoltenberg to discuss the U.S.'s commitment to NATO. She'll also meet with some of the leaders of the Baltic states, that's Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, to let them know that the American commitment is still strong to those countries, and that Article 5, that if you attack one nation of NATO, you attack all of us, is something that the United States stands firmly behind. Saturday's going to be a very big day for the vice president. She's going to deliver a speech where she'll give an update on the situation at the Ukraine border and the situation dealing with Russia. She'll let President Putin know that diplomacy is still there, but if he were to take action, there's a united front, European allies, partners that are ready to act swiftly. And as you mentioned in the question, she's going to have her first meeting with the Ukrainian President Zelensky, which will be her first meeting ever with him. And she'll also meet with the German Chancellor, German Chancellor Scholz.
That's right. Olaf Scholz, the German Chancellor. Tim, the Secretary of State is joining this delegation. It makes you wonder, does that amplify or minimize Vice President Harris's role?
I think neither. I think if you talk to officials here and even if you talk to experts, it shows just the severity of the situation that we're in. We are at the brink of what could possibly be a war, and also the most tense situation since the end of the Cold War. And I should also mention it's not very uncommon for the Secretary of State or for other high-level United States government officials to attend these meetings with either the president or the vice president. But I think, as I said before, it just highlights just where we are right now in this situation.
So it's a striking moment. It's a seminal moment for the vice president, for America. But you can't steal the politics out of any moment in 2022. What is the vice president's portfolio right now? This is a big foreign piece for her.
Right. This might be probably her biggest foreign policy piece since her vice presidency began last January. She's taken several other trips. This is her second trip to Europe. But yes, this is a very big moment, and this does not take away from the other parts of her portfolio that she has. She's still involved with leading the root causes of immigration, stemming the flow of migration from Central America, from the southern border. And we've seen her still doing just that. She was actually just in Honduras back in January to meet with the newly elected president. But yes, this is a very big moment for her, and she's still handling some of the other issues that are at hand. And I also note she's still traveling the country promoting the bipartisan infrastructure bill that just passed. You saw the president in Ohio just today talking about that law as well. And so their hands are certainly full, but this is certainly the biggest part of her foreign policy portfolio as of date.
Well, you mentioned she's traveling the country, traveled to Honduras and now in Munich. I'm wondering if you're getting a sense of what kind of campaign travel lies ahead for the vice president. Is she in demand on the campaign trail for vulnerable Democrats in what's going to be a very difficult year for vulnerable Democrats?
Yeah, I don't know that any Democrat will turn away the sitting vice president. And, you know, you look at her popularity within the party. The latest CBS News poll shows that among Democrats, 8 in 10 Democrats view her favorably. That's not something that you would not want at a campaign event, especially as voters start turning towards the actual midterm elections that are later this year. And I should also note we've also seen the vice president beginning to fundraise. She just held a fundraiser for the DNC. She's very in high demand for those types of events. So I would imagine that you would see her and the president hitting the road for some of these vulnerable Democrats, as Democrats will face a very steep hill this November.
And you will be traveling with her, so busy months ahead for you, too. Tim Perry's at the White House. Thank you very much.
Thank you.